The laughter cut sharper than knives. It started with her mother's voice, acid disguised as humor. "You're just bitter because Sierra is the breadwinner of the family." Everyone laughed. Her father, her sister, even Sierra, especially Sierra. I sat still, a statue carved in ice. The room burned with their amusement, but inside me there was only silence. I could have ignored it, could have smiled politely, the way I had for years, but something inside me shifted. A trigger finally pulled. So I leaned back in my chair, eyes on Sierra, then her mother, and I said, very calmly, "Then ask her to return the $89,000 I gave you since I married your daughter." Silence. The sound of metal against porcelain broke it. Her father's fork slipping from his hand, striking the plate with a hollow clang. That was the moment. The laughter drained. The air tightened. And I realized, this wasn't about a single insult. It was about everything. Sierra's eyes flicked toward me, wide, searching. She hadn't expected that. Of course not. She'd built her identity on the illusion that she carried us. Her mother fed it, her family worshipped it, and I allowed it. I told myself it didn't matter who took the credit, that dignity wasn't measured in applause. But deep down, the quiet rot spread. The dinners where her sister bragged about promotions. The vacations where her mother forgot to thank me for paying. The subtle digs, the mocking smiles, the whispered reminders that I wasn't enough. And Sierra never corrected them, not once. The betrayal wasn't only in her laughter tonight. It was in years of silence. In every moment she let them diminish me while cashing the checks I wrote in her name. I wanted to believe it was ignorance, that she didn't notice. But denial is a fool's comfort. Her eyes tonight told me otherwise. She knew. She always knew. I didn't raise my voice, didn't explain. I didn't need to. Instead, I began collecting. Not money this time. Evidence. Bank transfers, receipts, every wire that flowed into their accounts. $89,000 over 6 years. I remembered each conversation attached to it, the emergency repairs, the short-term loans, the medical bills that magically vanished without treatment. Her father's smile when I saved their collapsing mortgage. Her mother's thin gratitude, already laced with expectation. And Sierra's silence. Always silence. I kept digging, quiet, careful. While they mocked me, I sharpened the knife of truth. Phone records showed her mother's gloating calls to friends, texts bragging about how Sierra married well, screenshots of family group chats where they called me the backup plan. I printed everything, compiled it neatly, a dossier dressed like an autopsy. And Sierra? She never noticed. She was too busy playing the role they gave her, the breadwinner, the success story, the lie. The next dinner came sooner than expected. Another gathering, another night of smiles painted thin. I carried the folder with me, not as a weapon, but as inevitability. Her mother struck first, as always. Some jab about me finally contributing. The table laughed. This time I placed the folder on the table, opened it, spread the papers slowly, deliberately. Bank statements, transfers, screenshots. $89,000 laid bare under candlelight. I didn't speak. I didn't need to. Her father leaned forward first, reading. His face drained pale. Her sister froze, fork halfway to her mouth. And Sierra? She broke. Her hand trembled as she reached for the papers, eyes darting between them and me. "You kept this?" she whispered. I said nothing. Silence carried more weight than any explanation. Her mother's lips moved, but no words came. The queen of insults, dethroned by numbers. The truth wasn't loud. It was cold, unstoppable. Sierra looked at me, desperate. "You could have told me." I finally spoke. I just did. Her mother tried to recover, muttering excuses about temporary help. Her father shifted, shame etched deep in his face. But the dossier didn't lie. It showed patterns, timelines, dependence disguised as generosity. I leaned back in my chair watching them squirm. Every chuckle they'd ever thrown at me returned now as silence choking their throats. "You wanted a breadwinner," I said softly. "You built her throne with my money." The room cracked. Her mother's eyes darted to Sierra. Her father stared at the papers as if they might combust. And Sierra? She had no defense. Because the cruelest betrayal isn't stealing credit. It's watching the thief and saying nothing. I didn't storm out. I didn't demand apologies. I didn't ask for repayment. I simply gathered the folder, slid it back into my jacket, and stood. "Enjoy dinner," I said, and left. On the drive home, I felt no anger, no heartbreak, only clarity. The truth had been there all along. All I did was strip away their performance. They wanted me small, a shadow, a silent provider. But shadows are patient, and when the light shifts, they reveal what was always hidden. I gave them their throne. Tonight, I took it back. The laughter ended, but I didn't need to stay and hear the silence. It would echo inside them far longer than it ever did in me.